Oh,
Hi Akash, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too. So many congratulations to you for getting a job in this time of recession. So how do you feel about it?
So first of all, thank you so much for wishing me. So basically, from past 2-3 months, right, I was struggling to switch. So when I got the offers, it was a kind of a really good feeling, right? I just got the kind of a package that I was a decent one, not a one that I should be like, let's go. If not good, then I got a decent package, so I was happy with that.
Mhm. Okay, great. So you've got a decent package. So let's start with that only. So what is the range you are getting now, or how much you are earlier making on it, the terms of percentage, if you can tell?
So earlier I was having a package from 4 to 6, I will say,
Okay,
and on that I have got a decent raise of around 50 to 80%.
great. 50 to 80%. So that's somewhere around now you would be making 10 to 12 lakhs per annum.
Yeah, kind of that.
Okay, that's great. Okay. So can you tell us about the interview process? How was it and how many interview rounds were there?
So I have an offer from two companies.
Hmm.
So they both have matched the offers. For both the companies, I have given two technical rounds and one HR round.
Okay, great. So how many years of experience you have?
So I have 2 years of experience.
Years of experience. Okay, great. And how did you come to know about this job?
So one was I got a referral from my senior from the current company, and for the other I have applied through Naukri.com board.
Okay. So would you like to share some tips about how to get calls from Naukri.com?
So the thing is, you need to make your profile crisp, right? You need to mention every skill that you have. Don't think like the particular skill that you are having is kind of a not required. Like if you are particularly automation tester, don't miss writing the thing like manual testing or regression testing. These small keywords would be enough or would be mainly used for the recruiters to search a particular skill. So first, don't underestimate your skills, right? It doesn't matter how big skill it is or how small skill it is. If you're having any small skill, like from manual testing, you have worked for like API testing only for a month, mention that. It doesn't matter you have the particular whole every knowledge or not. Just be proud of the skill that you are having and mention that.
Okay, great. That's good to know. And were you updating your resume every day?
No, so I was not resuming my updated. So when I got the opportunity from Naukri.com, so they have mentioned the description of what were the skills they were needing. So
Mm-hmm.
I prepared a kind of a resume on basis of that. I worked on the skills that they are requiring, but they don't have it. But I don't have it. So I just go through these skills like they were not that much hard to learn, I guess. So I learned that skills and then added them in my resume and then shared the resume.
Okay, great. So that's a good point to note. So whenever we don't know anything that is coming up in the job description, so maybe we can update our resume, we can upgrade ourselves, we can learn at least 30 to 40% about those things, and then we can appear for the interview, right? To be on
Yes.
the safer side. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Do you have any list of interview questions that were asked to you so that
Yes.
the community
So
can get help? Yeah. Would you like to
so
share
see
this?
the first
Yeah.
yeah. So see, no, I don't have that on my screen, but I have written them on my notepad.
Okay.
Ready.
So let me jot them down on the notepad so that the
Yeah. Yes.
yeah. Okay. Is the screen visible?
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, your screen is visible.
It's for manual plus automation, right? Or only manual?
Yes, manual plus automation. Yes.
Yeah.
So in my this is the first technical round that I had. So first question was, as everyone asked, tell me about yourself. So I gave that brief introduction about what I am doing in my current project and what are my skill sets.
Mhm.
The second question was, can you tell me about your current project? what is my roles and responsibility in that particular project and what I'm doing there.
Mhm.
So these were some introductory questions. For after that, they asked me about what are the kind of a defect cycle, right? Whenever a bug we have raised, right? So what is the proper process that bugs go through?
Mhm.
And after that, they asked me about the agile methodology, like the what is the proper way of executing the test cases, raising a bug, how should we be closing them?
Yeah, agile
And these were
methodology.
some from
Yeah. Then
yes,
test
these were
cases.
from
Yeah.
yeah, like how the proper test case, how what is the proper steps, like how should we be raising the test cases, or how should we be writing the test cases,
Mhm.
how to execute them, how to further raise bugs and follow up on them.
Mhm.
And these were some from manual, and they had asked me about few questions from Java as well. So they're like, what is inheritance and how I have utilized that in my framework.
Mhm.
Yes, what is inheritance and how I have used that in my current framework. And that's not. And in Java they asked me a simple question like to reverse a string. So I was giving them a kind of uh, technical approach. So they said me like it's okay, don't need to write the code.
Mhm.
From after that they came on Selenium. And so the first question was, what is the difference between relative XPath and absolute XPath,
Mhm.
and which one we should be preferring and why? And like they asked me about select class and actions class. Select class and action class. Uh, then we what are the exceptions that are there in Selenium?
Actions in Selenium.
Yes, exceptions.
Exceptions. Okay, exceptions.
Yes. What are the exceptions that I have encountered? And so later they asked me about test NG, as I have mentioned my test NG in my resume as well. So they asked me about that, like what are the advantages of test NG, how we can execute a particular set of test cases by use of groups. And and they one big question, like they asked me about the complete automation scenario that I have written on my website, like what is the end-to-end scenario that I have written that from starting to end. And I guess these were the only questions from first technical round.
Okay, this was the technical round. Okay, then.
Yes, the first technical round. So the second technical round was easy for me. So the in my first company that I have gotten, they didn't ask me much. So because I guess these question I was well prepared before the interviews. So I guess they got impressed with these answers. So the second technical round was not that hard. So when I was giving the interview, so we were basically talking about what our future goals, how we are seeing ourselves, what the company will be providing me, all such skills. Nothing technical there, just a kind of a talk that senior manager level do, like how we see ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
that thing, how we are going to help the company. So that was the thing, like how we are going to help the company. And so the and one kind of a question was a kind of funny question was, are developers and testers friends or enemy?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was that. That was right. And so after that, this was done. Then the HR round, and HR round again the same thing. First, you
Salary and
write what. Tell me
expectation.
about,
Mm.
yeah, what are my means, what I'm, why I'm switching the job, kind of these kind of questions. Why I'm looking for a new job, and So what? Tell me about yourself. The same question. Why specifically this company? So I did a research before the HR round. So I did a kind of a read from the website and prepared a kind of a thing for that. Yeah, and that's it. That was a thing
Okay,
for
right,
the first interview.
right. Any other technical questions that were asked to you?
So see, this was basically I have given the questions in a way, right? So this was first from the company that was kind of focusing more on automation. So the
Hmm.
other company they were focusing more on manual. So the second company, so they asked me about Postman and SQL,
Okay.
basic majorly.
Hmm.
So right, okay. So from Postman, they asked me like how we test an API.
Hmm.
What are the kind of like things we need to provide to validate the API,
Hmm.
and what is crude operation (CRUD).
Hmm.
What are the different things like you have in while that we have in APIs like that create, so we call get, post, put, and delete. What is their
Methods.
roles?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. Yes. And after that, they what are the kind of different kind of responses we get? Like 200, 201, 401, 400, 500, something like that.
Hmm.
And so they asked me this different kind of responses. They were valid, asking me in depth, like what will happen if we are giving a kind of a invalid request as well as unauthorized request. So what are the chances? Like what we will be getting first? Is it going to be 400 or 401?
Hmm.
Okay, and so from SQL, they asked me about the joins. SQL, they asked me joins, and basically what is the difference between primary key, foreign keys. They gave me two SQL questions to write. So basically, they were based on the joining two tables. And on the second interview technical round, the questions were repetitive, but they asked me a question that usually we call as a glass ball problem. So it was a
Glass
kind of
ball.
a planning. Yes, if you will Google that at that time after that giving the interview, I Googled that. So my answer was not correct, but I guess
Hmm.
my approach was fine. So
So what is this glass ball problem?
basically this means there if we have two balls
Hmm.
and we have two glass balls and we are on a kind of a building that have 100 floors,
Okay.
and we have to check the minimum number of like attempts we need to figure out the figure out like from which roof if we'll drop the ball it would break.
Hmm.
So this was a kind of a requirement. So basically it meant like, so he wanted me to ask that if some client has given you this problem
Hmm.
that we have 100-story buildings and you have two glass balls, what should be the maximum number of days you should be giving to him that within these days I'll give you the result, the
Hmm.
exact number of days. So that was the problem. I might have missed this complete statement. If anyone will search this term glass ball problem,
Hmm.
so he would be able to understand that. And that's it was the same questions. And last, what are your salary expectations? So research about that first.
Right, right.
So don't go blank, right? So basically what I have seen that when we are not getting jobs, right? So whatever they are offering, we kind of get like okay.
Hmm.
So demand for your skills. Don't go with the HR. HR are very great at negotiating. They will make you feel like they are paying you very much, but just be confident and
Right,
research about it.
right. No, that's truly said. You should be confident and you should be able to negotiate as per your skill set. If you will tell, no,
Yes.
no, pay me 6 lakh, pay me 7 lakhs, so they are not going to pay you. But if we will speak on the basis of data, on the basis of skills, then definitely the negotiation will start moving in your direction. Right? So that's very important. Now, there are many people, Akash, who are looking for a job these days. Any particular advice or suggestion you would like to give to them?
So my first and foremost best, I guess, the thing that worked for me was have confidence and give a dedicated times. There might be days when you will get times, and there might be days when you won't get time. But just brush up everything and give at least 1 hour or 2 hours a day to prepare specifically for interviews.
Mm,
Not the technical part, but specifically for the interviews. But most of the people think that they have the technical knowledge, so they would be anyhow acing the interview. But interviews are kind of a whole different skill that a person need to practice for. So
mm,
just dedicate 1 hour a day by seeing the various in you on YouTube. We have a number of interviews, mock interviews. Just go through them. The question would be repetitive. So
right.
dedicate a specific time for interview preparation as
Correct. That's very important. See how you present yourself in an interview
well.
holds
Yes.
a lot of importance. Maybe
You
sometimes
might
we
have,
know the answers.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you might have knowledge of everything, but at that time, how you express that, that is the key.
correct. No, absolutely agree with you. Right. So these days, recession is going on. So how can people come to know about jobs? How can they get awareness about jobs?
So see, first, if a person is a working professional,
Hmm.
so I would recommend him to make connections with his current organization. Like be in touch, be in good connection with every person, if, even it's your team member, manager, senior manager, no matter who it is. Because in the end, the direct referrals are more helpful than applying through different portals. You might get a, because on a portal we can see that whenever we apply for an application, so there is a button or the count written as 50 applications for now, 200 applications for now. But a person who is giving a direct referral, he would always be considered above them. So make good connections with them. And so basically one thing, right, if we are having some connection with our manager, so basically, and he resigned or he's in other company, so we break the link, we don't talk to him, we
Hmm.
don't seek their help. So I was a kind of a besharam in that I just pinged my manager like I am looking for, I have pinged around 18 to, not 18, 16 to 18 people from my team cognizant who are working there, or they who have switched their profiles. So I
Hmm.
have pinged everyone. Like
Hmm.
I am looking, I was total besharam भाई, करना है मेरे को तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Right,
No
right.
one is going to judge me.
Hmm. Right. So generally, we do not get into the touch with the people with whom we are not working, but we have worked with them earlier. So we should
Yes,
definitely, uh, have a word with them, have a chat with them. Sometimes they only get a job to us. Right.
yes.
That's truly said. Right. So, yeah. Anything else, Akash, you would like to share?
Mm. That must just be confident and be expressive.
Mhm. Right.
Your skills might vary ups and downs. The interviewer also knows that in
Mhm.
the kind of a thing that we everything is present there on Google. But
Mhm.
it's your attitude, how you solve the problem or how you handle that particular situation matters. So folk work on that. Skills are just like that's if what happens is if the particular question he asks you are able to answer that, we feel like it's good. But if he asks and we are not able to answer him, so it doesn't mean that we don't have the knowledge.
Mhm.
So he also knows that it might be the not the field that he have worked on,
Mm.
So you need to know how to cover up that thing and show your skill on the questions that you have.
Right.
That's it, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, correct answer. So, thank you so much, Akash, for coming on
Yeah.
our channel and sharing your success story with us. Wish you all the best for your future. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your videos actually helped me a lot. Your mock interviews of a number of things that I've seen, so they really helped me.
Okay, great. Thank you. Happy to know that.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.